This is Atlanta Public Schools, class of 2023, Valedictorians, Salutatorians, and Star students.
So the journey to this moment, it's been a lot of ups and downs. I go to a pretty small school, so the community is really tight. The teachers have been extremely supportive. I'm really thankful for all their help along the way. Just staying motivated and pushing to do my best it's been good. One word that would best describe me would be mindful. I think it's really important to not only look at the details of your circumstances, but also the bigger picture. So I like to just take a step back and remember who I am as a person and how I'm interacting and impacting the people around me.
If I could give a word of encouragement to other students at my school who are striving to be great, I would definitely tell them to stay motivated and just keep going. I know it can be very difficult at times to stay motivated, but if you just keep going, you try your best, you reach out to people when you need help, just all of that together, you will succeed. One word that best describes who I am is perseverant. The reason I chose that word is because I have definitely experienced some times throughout high school where there has been a lot of work to do and I didn't know if I was going to be able to finish it all or do my best. But I tried hard to plan it all out and get through it all and still try my best. And so yeah, I think that is definitely a good word to describe me because that has helped me succeed.
To be the valedictorian and star student, it feels rewarding. I'm extremely proud of myself. It's something I've wanted since the 8th grade. And it just feels very nice to have accomplished something that I worked for myself. My future plans are to study film and cinematography. I eventually want my first project to be a sports docuseries. And overall, I just want my film and the stories that I create to really impact how Black and brown bodies are seen and perceived in media, because that's really important to me. One word that best describes me is that I'm versatile. I chose that word because I guess I'm much more than academics. I'm much more than just who I am as an artist, a filmmaker, a poet. And I feel like I'm able to adapt in different spaces and different places. And that's a quality I really like about myself.
Being the salutatorian of Mays is a great honor, and I am extremely grateful to have that honor. It wasn't hard, but it was not that expected because my rank was fluctuating all throughout high school. So I am definitely extremely grateful. I am. My journey has been one to remember. I've had multiple opportunities. I made connections with teachers, and I am grateful to have their support. And I love everything about Mays, really. I'm glad I went to that school. The best word that describes me is open-minded. I chose it because I believe in people. I believe in the individuality of the person. I believe that everyone here is not that distinguishable among themselves. I think everyone has their own purpose in life, and just be the best at what you do.
So I am valedictorian of the best academy. It's an honor, seeing how hard work actually pays off and seeing the results of that, it's unbelievable to me. My future goals, ultimately I want to become a biochemist, and on the side I want to do real estate, owning a real estate business, going into property. It will help me greatly financially. I chose the word dedication because I don't settle short for anything. In order for me to, if I decide to do something, I put my all into it. And I feel like dedication is one of those traits that you have to have in life in order to be successful.
To be the salutatorian and the star student, I feel more than grateful. It's a blessing. I mean, looking back at it, I never thought this would be possible. And I feel a sense of relief that now this day has finally come and after all my hard work has paid off. My biggest supporters for sure would be my counselor, one of my mentors, Mr. Alfaro, a former engineering teacher at Best Academy, and my parents. The word that best describes me is brotherhood. A dear mentor of mine had taught me what brotherhood meant, and it was the mindset of always uplifting your peers no matter what, because at the end of the day, as an aspiring engineer, we all work as a team, and without each other, when there's a weakest link in the team, we're only going to be as strong as the weakest link. So without brotherhood, we can't succeed as much as possible.
My experience at Booker T. Washington was very exciting. It was fun. I met a lot of friends. My schoolwork wasn't really challenging at all times. It did get challenging, especially when I started doing dual enrollment in college courses and trying to balance college and high school. But it was very fun, and it was definitely a roller coaster. The word I would use to describe me is overachiever, and it's because I like being able to say that I've done the best that I could do. Starting off 11th grade, I found out I was number 3, and even though I wasn't always aiming to be valedictorian, once I found out I was number 3, I was like, okay, no, I can't be number 3. Then all of a sudden I had the urge to be number 1. And overachieving sometimes can be a struggle, and it can be hard because you're so hard on yourself, but it helps.
I currently attend Booker T. Washington High School, and I am the Salutatorian and Star student. I feel it's a really big honor to achieve both titles because I've been working towards achieving the top positions since 9th grade, or really actually 8th grade. So knowing that my hard work paid off is really settling and, accomplishing feeling. A word that best describes me would probably be hardworking, because I like to accomplish what I set my mind to. And I know that I have to go through all the way. It's not going to be an easy task or easy journey. So just know that I like to work.
My advice to my fellow peers and those that follow behind us is to continue working hard. Don't give up in yourself. Just always continue to persevere. Because one, you've gotten over the quarantine. That's the hardest part already. So if you can get through the online learning for a whole year, then you can do anything. Just remember all your hardships, everything you've been through, and know that you are the best version of yourself, and you can only grow from there. One word that best describes who I am is hardworking, because as I said earlier, I've had a lot of challenges in my life, and I just continue to persevere. I just continue to work hard, even in the classroom or when I have questions on the test. I continue going to my teachers for support. And even at home, if I have anything that I'm dealing with, I just have to work through it.
I am salutatorian of Charles R. Drew Charter School. Honestly, I feel incredibly proud and really relieved. I feel like all of my work is finally starting to stack up and display itself right in front of me. It's a really good feeling. One word that I think that describes best who I am is imaginative. In life, when I see or want something, I often I know I can bring that out of my mind. I can bring what I see or what I want out of my mind to life. And I think that really connects with imagination, being able to envision where you want to be, who you are.
What drove me to be excellent in high school? Probably my parents, I would say. Kind of mix of expectation, that whole you want your parents to be proud of you thing, right? That parental expectations were definitely a part of that, and just kind of the desire to be successful in that and to learn was also a big factor. Probably the word that I would say best describes me might be analytical, since I like to kind of take my time and really think through things and various options and consequences for actions.
I attend Coretta Scott King Young Women's Leadership Academy, and I am the valedictorian and star student. It's huge. I always thought about being Val, never a star student, so I feel really proud of myself. My future goals are to major in forensics chemistry and become a crime scene investigator. I think my word would probably be humble. Yes, I get told a lot that even though I'm a top student and I achieve a lot of things, that I don't show it, and I go very I ease into everything I do. And I do consider myself a humble person because I don't look at myself as superior to anybody else. Just go my own way and do the things that I have to do.
It feels really exciting. I've been at CSK since I was in 6th grade. So for me to finally graduate at the top of my class, it feels amazing. Doubted myself a lot throughout this process, and here I am today. So I believe that me having faith and courage really helped me out. One word that best describes myself is an advocate. I've had the opportunity to speak at the MLK commemorative service in January of 2023, and I feel like that describes me. I've always been involved in my community. I've always wanted to give back to others, help people out.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm valedictorian. I'm happy that I'm star student. And I didn't expect to be star student because I just took the SAT once and I didn't think that my score was that good. So I was glad that I was able to be star student. And then for being valedictorian, the first time I went to a graduation was my cousin's graduation in 5th grade. So that's when I found out what a valedictorian was. So I wanted to be one, and I'm glad that, in the end, I got to fulfill that childhood dream. If I had to describe myself with one word, I think I would say go-getter, because anything that I want, I get it. Like, if I want something, I'm going to do my best and I'm going to achieve it. Anything that truly I believe, anything you believe it, you can achieve it.
My future goals are to become either an interpreter or an officer in foreign service. I just wanted to bring countries together and reduce the amount of conflict there is between countries if I can. And I like language, so doing something dealing with foreign service is really interesting to me. Love is the word that describes me, like who I am. I'm big about spreading God's love and just making everyone feel like they're loved, because when people feel like they're loved and cared for, they treat you with the same respect, and it makes conflicts go away. Like, it just makes everything better.
My biggest supporters would have to probably be my mom, my grandma, and my great-grandmother. We call her Nana. I have an early birthday or a late birthday in September, and I'm originally from Michigan, so here in Georgia they would have held me back a little bit, and my mom made the hard decision of sending me to Michigan to live with my grandmother. And her and my Nana really tested me every day to show that I would be the best student I could be and that I was ready, and I came back and I was almost skipped a grade. I was so ready. One word that describes me best is driven. I believe since in kindergarten, I've been a driven person. I feel like no matter what is thrown at me, the circumstances I'm in, I will continue to go forward and shoot to the top.
I didn't expect to get salutatorian. I was just working. I was just doing the work, just working. So it's like, but it do feel surreal, but I've learned to manage it. The best word I would say that describes me is true. And the reason for that is I've learned to just be true to myself, true to my friends, true to my family, true to my work. Just true to the point where I don't feel any regret for what I do. True to where I'm not fake or questioning myself every day, because I used to do that. I used to not really know who I was and know what I wanted to do. And I'm pretty sure anybody can relate to that. But it was hard for me because I felt like I've got this big title, but I don't feel myself with it or without it. So it's like I had to find myself in that path.
Being the valedictorian really feels like a full circle moment, because even before I attended Carver, in the 8th grade, I was like, you know what, when I go to high school, I am going to be valedictorian. Like, there's no other option for me. So to see my hard work come into fruition and just for this full circle moment to just really be here. And just when I found out, I was like, oh wow, like really? My future plans, by April 1st, hopefully NYU will send me that acceptance letter. I do plan on going to New York University if they'll take me, and I want to major in graphic design or illustration and have a focus in concept work. I mean, ironically, I would choose my name Destiny because I feel like you can choose your own destiny. You can make things happen for yourself, whether through hard work, manifestation, just taking time to really gain a sense of self-awareness of where you are in your life and the things you want to accomplish. You can do it. You can truly do it if you put your mind to it.
It feels really good. I worked really hard to get here. It was not the easiest journey for me. I had a lot of issues regarding my mental health throughout the journey. But because of my teachers, my counselors, just the administration in my school in general, they really supported me. And it feels amazing. That's the only way to really put it in words. So I plan to attend the #1 HBCU for 16 years in a row, Spelman College. I'll be majoring in political science and minor in writing on a pre-law track. I want to become a lobbyist or a lawyer. I want to advocate for others, fight for others. That's what I've been doing my entire high school career, and that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So the one word I would use to describe me is ambitious. I've been using that word to describe me since middle school. I've always just been that person. I've always strived for excellence. That's what my mother instilled in me. That's what my family has instilled in me. That's what I have instilled in me. I'm ambitious.
How does it feel to be the valedictorian and STAR student? To be honest, it feels amazing. It's such an accomplishment, and it gives you such a feeling of like success and deserving, and you feel like your hard work paid off, and it's just a congratulating feeling to know that everything you sacrificed, everything you worked for, everything you focused and you attempted to do, that it came around full circle and you were able to be successful. So my plans in the future are to go to college, graduate with a bachelor's degree. I want to gain a degree in engineering to be able to work with technology, robotics, computers, anything tech-wise. I plan on starting my own company and being a CEO of a company one day, being an entrepreneur, being able to give back to the less fortunate, to be able to create wealth and cash flow, and to uplift my society, uplift my people, and be an example for what Black young men can do in this world. A word that I use to best describe myself is relentless. It represents like you're never stopping, you're never giving up. And in a world like today where you face the challenges that you face, being a young Black male in society, a society that isn't built for you or around you, it's important that you keep that in your head to never stop, that you keep that determination, that you keep that will to keep fighting and to proceed and receive your goals.
What it feels to be salutatorian, it feels good because it feels like that I've completed something that's been an ultimate goal in my life, honestly. And just being top 2 in general, it's just like, it just sets an example for the youth and say like, hey, you got this. There's nothing wrong. It's okay to have bumps, bruises, you're good. So the best word and my favorite word is idiosyncratic. The reason I picked idiosyncratic because it means unique and it's true to yourself. And that's why I want everybody to understand and everybody to learn is that, hey, you're you. There's no one like you, and there's no one that will ever be like you. So there's only one you on planet Earth, and whenever that time comes for you to depart, you left your mark.
When I came to school every day, it was more so just to learn, get new information, and just represent myself in the best light possible. I never had the goal of being valedictorian. However, when it got towards the end, towards senior year, and I figured out that I was close to that position and put in that position, I tried to strive harder because I knew I could make that position. The word I would choose to describe me is hardworking. Everything I wanted to do, I always put my mind to it. Even if it was something small or something big, I always wanted to put my best foot forward and always work hard to strive for that goal.
My journey at KIP, it was a little different than most people could see. My middle school wasn't the zone school for KIP. So coming in, I was into a new environment with new people, and I was sort of nervous going into it because I didn't know anyone. But as the years went on and I started to put myself out there and meet the people that I wanted to, that I become friends with, great friends at that, I think coming to KIP was one of the greatest decisions my mom made for me. I would say one word that would describe me is determined. And the reason I chose that word is because everything I've done to get to where I'm at is because I've been determined to sit right here in front of you, speaking to you right now. And if I didn't have that determination, I wouldn't have excelled in high school. I wouldn't be on my way to college on a full ride scholarship.
I would definitely say my biggest supporters are my friends and my family. I think that my parents have definitely pushed me to try my best in everything that I do. 3 years ago, my brother was also the valedictorian. So I think there's definitely a strong work ethic in my family, and that's really pushed me to just try my best at everything I try. I would say that the word inquisitive expresses me and describes who I am, because I've really fostered a sense of curiosity and creativity in my household and with my friends and my family. So
I'd say, as a word of encouragement to others, that you should follow more what you're passionate about than anything regarding grades. It's always helpful to me that I followed stuff that I thought would be classes I'd like and enjoy, and I'd say that anybody should follow what they think would be their best in terms of passion. I'd say the best word that describes myself is adventurous. I'd say it describes me because I like to travel, I like to try some new things, I like a variety of courses, subjects, activities, and I don't plan to give up any of those, and I'd like to continue learning in everything that I can.
My future plans are, first, I'm going to go to Georgia Tech. I'm majoring in computer science, and I want to focus on cybersecurity there. And then after I graduate, I don't know whether I want to go straight into grad school or get a job first, but I definitely want to do some type of cybersecurity consulting in the future and either get a master's or a PhD. One word that describes who I am, I would say driven. I always want to do better and I always want to be better. And I'm always working on improving myself and doing the best I can. And I'm always just driving myself in everything I do to try and be the best that I can be.
It wasn't a huge surprise that my brother was salutatorian and I was valedictorian at the same time. So I kind of knew that wherever we would end up, position-wise we would end up in the same place, but it's obviously, really amazing that we get to share this with one another. We've done pretty much everything together for years, and that's gone all the way through high school, so it's kind of nice that we'll get to finish out high school doing this together, and I couldn't imagine anyone else who I'd want to share this with. I think the word that probably best describes me is driven, and that's because, I never want to be the kind of person that just doesn't have something to do. I always want to have hopefully lofty goals and try my best to achieve those. I want to try and do as many different things as possible, try out as many different learn as much as I can, experience as many different things as I can, inside the classroom and also outside the classroom.
Yeah, my journey's been great. All the teachers, faculty, staff have been incredibly supportive whenever I've gone to them for extra help if I need it on an assignment or for a particular unit or test. They've always been incredibly supportive and have actively helped me if I needed anything. And I feel like that's really pushed me a lot to become where I am today and informed a lot of my academic endeavors, as they're really the ones that have allowed me to take sometimes more than what the course load limit was at, or they were always really understanding and allowed me to kind of forge my own academic path and have always helped me along that path. Laid back, it's maybe a hyphenated word, but I chose that more so because I've always tried not to be too serious on myself and be too serious about my schoolwork. If I didn't get an A on a test or something, I never really allowed myself to get really down about that. Instead, I just kind of took it easy and always kind of put trust in myself to kind of get back and get up from that. And I've kind of always tried to be laid back about my academics and sort of take that mindset to it, because I've had family members who have put too much pressure on themselves in academics and it's never really turned out that well. And so I tried to learn from that and just not put too much pressure on myself, and it worked out in the end, I guess.
Being valedictorian and star student is a big honor because it's a recognition of a lot of work that I put in throughout 4 years of high school, and it's being recognized on a larger scale than most people get. So I didn't really go into high school having the goal to be valedictorian or star student. I didn't know star student existed. But I did, when I started taking a lot of advanced classes, I realized that because we used weighted grades, I had the opportunity to become valedictorian, and then I realized that this was actually a possibility. So one word that best describes me is determined. And I would say I'm determined because when I have my mind set to something, I really try to do as much as I can to achieve that.
I would say my biggest supporters are my family, especially my parents and my sister. They've been with me every step of the way. Whenever I need something, not even including academics, they've always been there as just support and help, just to give advice. And then especially my sister, as she's 4 years older than me. So she's already been through high school. Whenever I have any questions with anything regarding that, she's always been there to just help me and just lead me like whenever I feel lost. I would say the one word that would describe me is hungry, because I'm someone who's always wanting to chase my goals, and I might not be the best in the room, the most intelligent, but I would say that I'm extremely hungry for my goals, and I'm very passionate about wanting to pursue those dreams and goals in life.
I think my biggest supporters would probably be my parents, because of just the encouragement they give me and the support they give me on a daily basis. They were the ones who encouraged me to take all the practice tests. I went to tutoring for a little bit, and they were financially able to support that, which I'm very grateful for. And they've just been pushing me since day one, freshman year, saying, hey, this is important, get good grades, do well, and they've helped me get into the college I'm hoping to go to now too. So they've been good. I would probably say the one word that best describes me is driven. I chose it because I feel like even if in a situation I'm not set up for success in the beginning, I will push myself and I will put in the work and the effort it takes to get to that point, like what I did in my testing, where I worked so hard to get there rather than just naturally have taken it and gotten perfect scores the first time.
My future goals would be to become a software engineer. I would like to work in a huge data company like Microsoft or Google, but I do have a passion for developing gene databases. I want to develop them so that crucial gene data can be made accessible to the public. One word that best describes me is hungry. I am a person that will go out and look for these opportunities to become a better person, a better scholar, to help me really further my education, my career path, and I will do whatever it takes to get to the success I need.
Honestly, it hasn't really settled in yet, because it just feels really surprising, because I was like all the way in the back. I was 6th place. So becoming salutatorian was like, whoa, like, what? Like, I literally just came from the back, just running. And I played track, so that's also something I'm familiarized with. So that was very amazing to me. The word I would use to best describe me is adventurous. I would say that because I'm always open to new experiences. I love just getting out of my comfort zone and pushing myself beyond my limits. So I would say adventurous.
When I found out I was a STAR student, I was in the cafeteria, and my counselor pulled me aside to tell me that I was a STAR student and to pick my STAR teacher. And I was very surprised, and he pulled me aside from everyone, so I thought that it was something else. But when I found out, I was very excited and proud of myself for being able to be a STAR student, have the highest SAT score in the school, because I have a lot of friends who are very smart and are very good test takers, so I didn't think I would have gotten the highest score. My biggest supporters are my close friends, because they have helped me a lot with schoolwork. We help each other out with homework, school. They push me to always try my best. They help me. A word that best describes me is optimistic. I always try to see the bright side in everything, whether it's about something I'm about to do or something I did, whether I failed, or when my friends come for advice, I always try to look at the bright side and just think positively about everything, even if it seems like it's the end of the world.